Hey, good morning. Welcome to part 4 of the Umpire Mechanics baseball series. My name is Jeff. I'm from STEMFitness.net, and I want to share with you today some more situational awareness for batted balls. Okay, so previous video we talked about single runners on base with no runners on base, what the umpire's responsibilities are when the ball is hit and what they have to do and the movements they have to make. So, I just want to remind you that pretty much in these videos, we're just going to focus on umpires' movements, what they're going to be focusing on, what their responsibilities are. Rules discussions and things we'll keep for future videos perhaps, but we'll just focus on what the umpires are doing. And this is, of course, also specific to two-man mechanics. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about first and second, runners on first and second. All right, so when runners are on first and second, now we have a few different situations. Obviously, with runners with less than 2 outs, there could be an infield fly situation. So base and plate umpires have different things they got to look out for in these situations. So let's go ahead and draw our V from the previous video. So remember, we have our area from plate to base, right, where the base umpire is going to kind of take everything within these two lines, and the plate umpire's got everything in the outside the two lines when it comes to fly balls. But the movement when runners on first and second is going to be very, very different between ground balls and fly balls. Okay, so let's start with ground balls. Okay, so let's say it's a ground ball to the infield. A ground ball to the infield is going to cause this base umpire to basically get in this area away from where the ball's hit. So if the ball's hit to third base, they're obviously going to want to hang out in this area so they can get the call at third, and then of course the most likely location for the ball that's going to go after they hit third base is go to first base for the chance at the double play. So the base umpire has to basically get an angle on this and then watch out for the ball going across the field and then get an angle at first, right? The plate umpire in this situation is basically going to watch this situation unfold from right about here. And the reason why is, again, you want to get an angle. You want to make sure that you're able to see continuing action at third base. You're able to make sure you're in position in case there's an overthrow. So if there's a runner coming home, you're there for that as well. So on a ground ball, that's what's going to happen. If it's a base hit, obviously this base umpire is going to line up and get ready for this runner most likely coming around to score at home plate. So there's going to be a play at the plate, very, very likely. If there's a ground ball to the outfield, runner throw coming in, you're going to look out for that. Base umpire, of course, for the most part, when you have so many runners on base and so many things going on in the field, the plate and base umpire, you basically have to play some sort of zone defense, okay? You got to make sure that you're in the area so that way if there is a call in your area, or if there's something happening in your area, that you're in the best possible position to make that call. It's one of the limitations to the two-man system, but what can you do, right? So that's for first and second on ground balls. Now let's talk about fly balls, okay? Fly balls are going to be a couple of things going on with fly balls. First off, if it is infield fly and it is in the infield, you're obviously going to want to make that call as soon as you determine that it is a routine fly ball and that it can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort. Nice and loud, infield fly, batter's out, point straight up, right? Make sure that you make that call very, very loudly, so that way you're pretty much saying batter's out, runners do not have to advance, but they still got to touch the base. They still got to be on the base, right? So they're no longer forced to advance. But I have seen situations where runners are not aware that they don't have to advance when the infield fly is called. So they get tagged out or get put out on an appeal at the base they were at. So anyway, so be ready for that. Be ready for those kinds of situations where, especially in the lower levels, you could have a little bit of confusion on infield fly situations. But let's take that out of the case. Let's say that it's a fly ball to right field. Right field's over here, okay? So when there's a fly ball to right field, plate umpire, you got to book and get over here. Why? Because now there's going to be a tag up. There's going to be a potential tag up from second to third, and this base umpire is most likely going to be moving over to this area in their V to take this call, okay? So in this situation, the base umpire's got a good angle to make this call. The base umpire's got to stick in this area too, because now this runner might be advancing to second base. The plate umpire is going to take this runner into third, and of course this is where that communication piece comes in that we talked about in part 1. If your partner is aware that they're going to be coming up to third base, the base umpire can easily take that call, even in right center area, right? Obviously, if it's right field, then obviously this plate umpire is not going to be going that way. Plate umpire is going to be going this way. So in that situation, if it's in right field or if it's towards the line, now this base umpire knows that he's got the tag up here and he's got to take this runner into third. But if it's a situation where the fly ball is in this area here or maybe even center field, the plate umpire has the option of coming up to take this call at third base. If it's to left field, same deal. Now you can come up and you can take that fly ball, but at the same time, by moving up and into position, you're now in position to take this runner into third base. So you're still going to announce to your partner, I got third, and then make the call of the fly ball. And if there is a tag up, it's very unlikely in less likely in left field than in right field. But if there is a tag up to third base from the second base, you're now in position to make that call as well. And the base umpire is still there to make that call at second in case this runner tries to advance as well. So first and second, a couple of situations, obviously. Now, of course, if we talked about if it's a base hit, we talked about all that situation. We talked about the fly balls, where plate umpires got to go depending on the situation. So let's go ahead and throw on runners in first and third instead. So runners in first and third typically does not stay that way, especially in lower levels. This runner at first is most likely going to try for the stolen base to put themselves in scoring position, or maybe try a double steal. So you got to be ready for that as well. But let's say let's say a base hit, right? So plate umpires here. The plate umpire is going to watch this runner score, right? Going to watch the runner score, and after the runner scores, up to third base they go to take this runner in, whereas the batter runner is going to be coming in possibly at first, possibly going to second as well. So the base umpire's got some responsibility there. Okay, this is still a rotation, even though there's a runner on third, I got to make sure he scores. You can do that. On a base hit to the outfield, there's not going to be a play on that runner. That runner is going to score very easily from third base, okay? So watch that. You can watch that from a distance, watch him touch home, and then turn around and book it right back to third base to get this call coming into third. Keeping, of course, aside, make sure that you're aware where the ball is, of course, right? Base umpire, same deal, right? Make sure that you're still taking your V situation, right? Make sure you still got your V, taking the right fly balls. In this situation also, if it's in center field, base umpire's got the fly ball, and you, as the plate umpire, have the tag up, have the retouch at third, and then, of course, you're going to take that runner home as well. If it's a fly ball over here as well, the base umpire is going to know that, again, depending on where that fly ball is, that they've got the touch at third. So if you're coming up here, if you're moving up here to get a call here, obviously don't stray too far from home because you still got that runner coming back, but your eyes are here. Base umpire then, of course, is going to move into position to watch the retouch here, okay? So all of those things are just, you just got to be aware of the situations. You just got to kind of know what's going on, okay? And that's kind of the name of the game when you're umpiring, is focus. Know what the situation is. Know what you're going to do when the ball is hit. If it's a ground ball, know where you're going. If it's a fly ball, where's the fly ball going? Then know where you're going. That's really the name of the game. Good umpires know where they're going before the ball is even hit, okay? So first and third, you got that situation. Now let's go second and third. Second and third, not too many different things really. A lot of what we said with runners on second and third, runners on first and second are pretty much the same, except again the plate umpire, fly ball to the outfield. Plate umpire's got to maybe take the touch at third. Maybe the base umpire's got to take the touch at third. Depends on where the fly ball is. So if the ball's to the left field, the plate umpire is going to move up a little bit. Obviously, they've got an angle now at the ball and the runner. So if there is a catch out here, they can also look at the retouch. Base umpire still got to watch this runner at second, right? So if there's a play at home, this runner's going to go to third. Base umpire's got to take that runner into third if there's a fly ball that way. If there's a fly ball to center field, base umpire's going to move up a little bit. They're going to watch the catch. They're going to announce that catch as soon as they hear it, as soon as they see it, excuse me. And then the base umpire is going to watch the retouch and then, of course, make the call at home, right? Call to right field. Plate umpire moves up the line just a little bit. Watch the fair foul, right? And then make the catch. Base umpire, of course, knows, has to be aware. Plate umpire's got that ball. The base umpire's got to come in, and he's got to make sure that he's got that touch at third, right? Trying to get the touch at second, but it's the lead runner that's more important when you're on a two-man system. So the play at third, the runner at third is one that's going to score possibly and affect the score of the game. So that's the priority. So it's very hard to watch two bases at the same time. So get the one that you can get that's more important. In this case, it'd be the lead runner. So runner second, third, that's it. Now, the worst situation for a two-man system is the bases loaded situation. In this, it could be chaotic, okay? It could be, this is where the most of the chaos could occur, where you could maybe have some double calls, you could have some areas where maybe you don't have as good of an angle on the play because the ball could literally go anywhere, right? So situational awareness is obviously important, making sure that you are covering as many possibilities as possible, okay? So when the bases are loaded, a lot of what we just said is still true, okay? The plate umpire is still going to move up and be in this general circle area, moving up the line if needed to watch a fair foul call or a fly ball to that side of the field, outside of the V. Okay, if they have an angle at the plate at third, they're going to do that. If there's a ground ball, the plate umpire is going to shift over to the right, and they're going to stay home and watch the runner score and get any calls at home plate. Base umpire, you just got to kind of hang out and watch where the ball's going. If you see the ball go to second base, get up to second base and get ready to make a call. If you see the ball going to third base, get over here, make that call. If you, for some reason, see the ball going back to first base, get over there, make that call. You just got to follow the ball. The base umpire, you really just got to kind of stick to that area. You can't leave the infield. When a two-man system, when you're in the B and the C, your base umpire is right there. There are no traveling out to the outfield. You can give your partner a help with traps or uncaught fly balls in the outfield, but generally speaking, you are in that zone. You cannot be leaving that zone. All right, plate umpire is still going to be watching touches at third base or retouch at third base on a fly ball when they can, unless they're coming up the line here, in which case, again, the base umpire is going to watch that lead runner just like with the situation on second and third. Okay, but again, just watch where the ball is going. With bases loaded, you just got to go where the ball goes and then make your best effort to get an angle on a play and be ready to make a call. All right, so that's more mechanics, more situational awareness for umpires, and I hope that this video is helpful for you. If it was, please like, please comment, please subscribe to STEM Fitness. Please visit us at stemfitness.net and find us on Facebook. I would love to do more umpire series. I would love to know more about what you would like to know about umpiring, about teaching, about fitness, about nutrition, about anything that you want to know more about. Please let me know, okay? Hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to be awesome.